Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I will be talking about the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. This is a foundational level exam offered by AWS for you to get certified by them. This will allow you to have a cert and some AWS benefits. So today, I'll be talking about a few components that will be tested in the exam, starting with Amazon EC2 and S3. You might be asking, what does EC2 and S3 stand for? We'll talk about it in the next few slides. Okay, so you all might be wondering, what is EC2? So EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So it is a virtual machine in the AWS cloud that will allow you to run virtual machines. Like if you do not want to run applications on local hardware, so you're trying to move to the cloud, you want to move your applications running on current servers. Like if you own hardware where you have like a Dell server, for example, at home, and or at a data center, and it's running at like locally, and you have all your apps there, you can actually move it to the cloud. So instead of running things like your websites on a LAMP stack on a physical server at your house or at your office, you can all move it to the AWS cloud. So you can run your websites like your LAMP stacks all on EC2. So yeah, this is a very helpful way so that you wouldn't have to manage all of the security of the physical hardware in case there's any natural disasters or anything that may happen. AWS will always be stored on the cloud, and AWS will ensure the security of data centers for you. So firstly, it'll probably be safer if you host it on the EC2 instead of hosting it on a physical server. And it will also be cheaper as it is a pay-as-you-go system. So you only pay for what you use. Unlike for a server where you might have to buy more than what you necessarily need, just in case your application suddenly blows up where you need the overhead for the server specs. So yeah, that is some of the benefits of EC2 as well. Okay, next we're going to talk about the type of EC2 instances. So remember, I'm going to say this first. If you are just going to watch these videos, these are just introductory level. So please go and read up more about these services before actually taking the exam. Okay, next slide. These are the types of EC2 instances. So we have the general purpose EC2 instance, which is a balance of the compute, memory, and networking resources, and is suitable for a wide range of workloads. Okay, next we have compute optimized. So this offers high performance processors where each processor core might be able to run more things and process more things quicker, and is ideal for compute intensive applications and batch processing workloads. Okay, now we have storage optimized workloads. So it offers low latency and high I/O, which stands for input output. So it offers low latency and high I/O operations per second, IOPS. So this will allow you for, like, if you want to store data, this would be perfect for it. Okay, it is also suitable for workloads such as distributed file systems and data warehousing applications, as I was saying, storing data. The last one is memory optimized. This delivers a fast performance for memory intensive workloads and is well suited for high performance databases. There's also an additional one called accelerated computing, which is not seen on the slides as it is not actually a type, I guess to say, but it's accelerated computing. So it uses hardware accelerators to expedite data processing. So it will make data processing faster and is ideal for application streaming and graphical workloads. So if you are doing anything that is graphically intensive, you would aim to use an accelerated computing workload instance. Yeah. Okay, so now these are the pricing options. On demand, that means there's no upfront costs. So it's ideal for short-term irregular workloads, and you can start and stop them anytime you want. For spot instances, it is ideal for workloads with flexible start and end times. so you are able to, if your server must be resilient, so that if the spot instances stop, cause okay, so spot instances, right, it's based on a market rate. So let's say you're willing to pay 70 cents per hour for the EC2 instance, and Amazon's current rate offered is 60 cents per hour for the instance. Let's say you offer 70 cents, Amazon would give you the server until the demand for that same server becomes so high where Amazon has to increase the price to, for example, 71 cents. But you're still only willing to pay 70 cents per hour. Amazon within 2 minutes will shut down your instance, if I'm not wrong, if it's 2 minutes, around there, 2 to 5 minutes, but I'm quite sure it's 2 minutes. They will shut down your instance. So you will need your application to be very flexible so that it can start and end at any time without any data loss or any corruption. Okay, so this spot instances is good as it offers savings over the on-demand prices, as on-demand will cost more. Now, we have dedicated computing. So there are two types of instances under that pricing options, I mean. The dedicated instance and dedicated host. A dedicated instance is an EC2 instance that runs in a VPC on hardware. A VPC is a virtual private cloud, and we'll cover that in a later video to cover more Amazon services. So for now, that's that. So it'll be mostly used for compliance issues, like you have to comply with some laws in certain countries where you would require this. And dedicated host. It is a physical server with EC2 instance capacity for a single customer only. This is the most expensive EC2 option. As for this, Amazon will have to dedicate a whole server for you. This is used in the same scenarios as dedicated instances, where compliance is an issue, but in this case, the compliance will be very strict, where you will have to use a separate host machine entirely. And this will be the most expensive EC2 options. Lastly, we have the reserved instances. The reserved instances allows you to reserve an instance for 1 year or 3 year periods. This provides an overall billing discount over the on-demand pricing, as it will allow you to have discounted prices due to you having the server for a long period of time. Next, we have the services that are compatible with EC2. These services will be covered in a later video, but I will just talk about them slightly now. So, auto-scaling. It is a group where you have, for example, 4 EC2 instances in this thing called an auto-scaling group. These 4 instances in an auto-scaling group, let's say we only need one of them when the traffic into the EC2 is low. But when there's high traffic, we need 4 EC2 instances. So, based on the traffic coming in, the auto-scaling group will start up more instances when it is necessary. On the other hand, elastic load balancer, which is a load balancer controlling 2 or more EC2 instances. This allows them to split the load between the different EC2 instances, allowing it to have lower latency and smoother traffic, I think. Yeah, but it'll ensure that your application will run smoother. Moving on, we have EBS, which is elastic block storage. You can mount this to an EC2 instance, as EC2 instances only have instant store. Instant store means that the storage is ephemeral and it will not be retained after the EC2 instance is hibernated, shut down, or terminated. So all your data would be lost. Following this, we have S3, which will be covered later, so I wouldn't talk about it now. And there's also a lot of other services compatible like SNS and SQS, which will also be covered in a later video. So now I would like to talk about S3. Yeah, looks like S3. So what is S3? So S3, it stores objects in buckets, and it is also you can also set permissions to control access to the bucket, to the object. So you can set parameters via JSON files if I'm not wrong. So yeah, Okay, give me a moment, pardon me. Okay, so S3, what does it stand for? S3 stands for Simple Storage Service, so 3S's S3 Simple Storage Service. So yeah, it is a industry leading scalability, data availability, security. Okay, correction. It is a storage service offering industry leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. So yes, it's one of the best out there for you to store your data in the cloud. Okay, so since now I've talked about S3, we should talk about the types and what it's designed for. Firstly, we have S3 standard, so it's designed for frequently accessed data. So you keep on having to access it over a period of time, so you can, like within a month you have to access it 10, 20, 30 times. You have to go for S3 standard, and it also stores data within 3 availability zones. I will cover what availability zones in a future video, but for now it's just 3 different locations. Next, we have the S3 standard IA. So S3 standard IA is similar to S3 standard, but it is ideal for infrequent access. This is similar to S3 standard, as I said, but it will have a lower price and it has a lower storage price and a higher retrieval price. So each time you retrieve your data from S3, it will cost more than S3 standard. This is IA, as IA stands for infrequent access, so it's S3 standard infrequent access. This is for access, if I'm not wrong, from 1 month to 3 months, you only access it once. Next, we have the S3 one zone infrequent access. So this only stores it in one location, one availability zone, and has a lower storage price than S3 standard IA. Yes, so it only stores it at one zone, and it has all the features of standard IA besides it being only in one zone. Moving on, we have S3 intelligent tiering. So this is ideal for data with unknown or changing access patterns, and this requires a small monthly monitoring and automation fee per object. As this, it will show intelligence tiering will change between S3 standard IA, one zone IA, Glacier, and Glacier Deep Archive depending on when you're retrieving the data and the patterns for it. So yeah. Okay, moving on. S3 Glacier. S3 Glacier is a low-cost storage designed for data archiving. But whenever you retrieve the data, you have to wait within a few minutes to a few hours, which is quite long, as it's a data archiving service. So you must wait for a few minutes to a few hours to retrieve the data. This is cheaper than all the options before. And moving on, we have S3 Glacier Deep Archive. So this is the lowest cost object storage class, and it's for archiving files that are required to archive, like medical records for up to 8 to 10 years required by law. They can use Deep Archive, and they are able to retrieve objects within 12 hours of requesting. So yeah, you'll need 12 hours to request for your storage data that you require. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found this video informative. If y'all have any questions regarding AWS, you can leave it in the comments and I will try to answer you to the best of my ability. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!